Let's put this in perspective. The Supreme Court just lifted 40 years of government regulation, removing oversight in most public life, from aviation to food to drugs you used to heal with to the environment. Which means corporations have much more of a green light now to do whatever they want to do in their industry as long as they prioritize the profits of the people with no regulation or oversight, with no penalty, because, hey, you can just bribe a Supreme Court judge to regulate the way you want them to.
$4.2 million. That's the amount of money that Clarence Thomas has accepted in the form of bribes, gifts, during his time serving the Supreme Court. $1.8 million of that was given to him by Harlan Crow, who is a Republican megadonor, billionaire conservative, in the form of lodging and trips. Clarence Thomas did not report this $1.8 million on his financial disclosures. I am so embarrassed that he is still serving on our Supreme Court. Also, he's not the only Supreme Court justice that accepts gifts from people. Many of our Supreme Court justices do. Yet I know people who can't even so much as accept a $5 Starbucks gift card from their job without being investigated.
On my mom, if Supreme Court had to rock the patches of the companies that was sponsoring them, like race car jackets, a lot of them justice robes would look just like this. Let's break it down and simplify it some more. A bribed Supreme Court legalized political bribery, then criminalized homelessness, then took away the federal agency's power over their own regulations and handed it to corporations. I remember in high school learning about how the government empowered the FDA to make sure things like our meat that we eat is packaged and clean and not with a whole bunch of like rat feces and things like that. Let's just say it costed meat companies a whole bunch of money to make sure they regulated our meat being clean. So instead, they paid the government or Supreme Court less than what they would have to pay for the regulation to make it where they pass a bill to say, hey, no longer have to regulate the meat that they feed consumers and that they can give us meat with all type of feces and all type of things in it. In some instances, they already do it. Now it's even gotten worse. FDA stands for Food Drug Administration, for y'all that don't know too. It's wild. Think about it like this. Overturn the Chevron doctrine now allows for judges to say, hey, instead of experts deciding what should be done in the field or industry, the judges can decide. Can you see all of the conflict of interest that's involved in that? Education is elevation.